What's up, y'all? What is up? It's your girl EJ, and welcome to the recap, y'all. Now, today we're going to be talking about All American Homecoming Season 2, Episode 6, Free Your Mind. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so this episode is going to open up with your girl Simone doing her tennis thing. And of course, you know, Simone has been working really hard and she's been really honed in and focused on tennis. Now, the coach is going to let her know that she was made player of the week, and everybody isn't going to be too enthusiastic about this at all. As a matter of fact, none of her teammates even give her a clap, a congratulations, or anything, except for your girl Thea Mays, who comes up to her a little bit later and says congrats, and then lets her know, hey, you can't expect them to be happy for you when the team as a whole is doing bad. Now, I don't know where in the world they get this idea or this concept, but it feels like if someone is doing good, like, shouldn't we support that person regardless of how the team is going? Because it feels like your girl Simone would actually clap it up and be happy for her teammates if they were doing well. But I don't know. It's a little awkward. But anyway, y'all, who knows if your girl Thea and Simone are ever going to get back to the place that they were. But I do like seeing these interactions between them. I really hope these two will eventually figure it out and get back to a good place so that I can like Thea once again. So anyway, y'all, meanwhile, Damon and JR have been tasked with trying to get a top recruit to see Brinkston for the great place that it is. Now, Jerry is, you know, a top player, and he has a lot of schools that are looking at him, especially Hawkins, you know, and they want him to come to Brinkston. So JR and Damon are going to have to make him feel welcome, and they're going to have to do everything in their power to make him see that Brinkston is the place to be. Now, meanwhile, Simone is looking for sisterhood, and she's going to talk to Damon about this because even though she has her Brinkston friends, she's still looking for this place of feeling, you know, belonged, because at the end of the day, she's definitely not getting that from her tennis. You know, it's more like, as she calls it, more like co-workers than anything. It's not like a real friendship, although I would beg to differ. I do think that there are some work environments where co-workers are friends. So, you know, coworker friends or whatever you want to call it. But I do understand where Simone is coming from. I mean, at the end of the day, her and her tennis team are just not working well together. And most of that is because of Tootie. So anyway, y'all, Nate has this amazing idea, you know, about the Black History program that the SGA is putting on. Now, Nico, you can see, is one of these characters that always feels like he just needs to be in control, and it needs to be kind of his way, you know, or no way. And Nate, you know, brings forth this great idea, and he's kind of just like, okay, we'll take it into consideration, and kind of just blows it off. But you can see that the other people are really interested in this idea, and you can kind of see where they think it's a good idea. So anyway, y'all, Rome is going to try to get Thea to take more shots. You know, he's really trying to play on her feelings. You know, he's really like, look, you know, she just made player of the week. She coming for your spot, yada, 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 or anybody really. He doesn't say her in specific. But the truth of the matter is that he seems to know how to get to Thea. But Thea's just like, nah, you know, no one's even close to getting to my record. And right now, she's not interested in getting this third shot, y'all. So anyway, y'all, Jerry is going to show up, and he's going to get the tour, and he's going to see that JR is in KEK, and he's going to be really interested in KEK. So of course, JR is going to take him to the frat house, but he doesn't want Damon to come. And this is one of the first times that you're really seeing where JR is just not feeling Damon for some reason. You know, he's not saying exactly what it is, but you can sense the tension. You can sense that he just doesn't want him around. Your girl Simone is going to end up going to the sorority meeting. You know, she's going to show up a little bit late to the meeting. However, she is going to meet this young lady by the name of Melody, and they are going to hit it off pretty good. Now, what's interesting about this whole interaction is that we're going to learn that your girl Tootie is so fake. She's going to come into the meeting, and she's actually going to, you know, go up to Simone and act like they're best buds and hug her and everything. And then she's even going to try to give her props about making player of the week. And so in this moment, you're going to realize that Tootie is so fake. And to be honest, if this sorority is supposed to be about real sisterhood, she definitely does not fit the description at all. Anyway, y'all, Simone really enjoyed this whole interaction, and she wants to be a part of more events. Now, of course, she was late, so she missed the time that the next event was going to happen, and Aquila's just going to let her know, like, look, you missed it, so if you want to know, I'm sure you'll figure out a way to get there. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was just like, okay. And then she even makes the statement, it's like, Tootie got here 2 hours before. And I'm just like, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, are you trying to compare their schedules because they're both in tennis and she was able to get there? Like, I just didn't like the way Aquila was coming at Simone with this whole situation. Now, she will explain later why she does this, but at the same time, I just felt like it was a lot. Anyway, y'all, the coaches are gearing up to do their presentation for the new recruits, for the people that are coming to see Brinkston, the baseball players. Now, Coach Marcus wants to use his mental illness as a way to show how Brinkston is helping and being at the forefront, and how mental illness is a really big, important thing at the school, and what type of programs and resources that they have. However, your boy Jesse is just not feeling it. He thinks that this is not, the right way to go. He thinks that everything should be positive. So Thea and Damon are going to be having a conversation, and she's going to be asking him about some of the alternative methods that she found, in trying to treat her shoulder and trying to treat her injury. And he's going to be like, maybe turmeric. And then she's going to kind of ask him, what about, cortisoid? At this point, I feel like she's just trying to fill it out, and maybe she's trying to get him to kind of be on board with it so she can feel better about it. I don't know, but that's kind of what it feels like. And then he just tells her, like, look, these things have side effects, and you want to do this the right way. You don't want to take any shortcuts. And so they kind of get off of that conversation, and they start to talk about JR, because Damon is feeling like something is going on with JR. And she just tells him, like, look, you need to talk to JR. And then you need to go and get this kid, because you just left a 17-year-old at a frat house, at a party. And so Damon has to skedaddle and go get your boy Jerry. Now, y'all, Nico is going to bring Nate flowers because he's trying to make up for what he did at the SGA meeting when he kind of just brushed her off to the side. Now, she is going to tell him, like, look, some of the members came up to me afterwards, and, this is something that they want to pursue. And she's just like, with your blessing, I'll take care of everything. And Nico's like, okay, you have my support. And then he's like, what am I going to do with you? In this moment, y'all, you're seeing more and more of this side of Nico, where it's almost like he can't handle her being this person that she is. Like, he can't handle her having ideas that are pretty much better than his. He can't handle her having this voice, and you can just feel it. Like, he tries to play it off, and he tries to play it really safe with the words that he uses, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can just feel that Nico is just not secure in who he is as a person, so much that he's trying to downplay who Nate is as a person. So I guess we shall see. Hey, y'all. So meanwhile, your boy Damon is going to go and look for JR and Jerry. He's going to go over to the frat house, and you can tell that your boy JR just doesn't want him there at all. He's trying to get him out of there quick. However, his boys are going to see Damon, and they're like, look, it's about time he got you over here. We've been trying, to get him to bring you over for a visit, because clearly it looks like the Fat Brothers want him to pledge. Now, he's going to ask them, like, did he tell you? And he's going to play along with it and act like JR told him, and like he just forgot. But in this moment, you can tell that Damon is about to get real petty, and Damon is going to stay even though he knows JR doesn't want him there. They're going to end up, even getting into this little challenge thing where they're going to play a game, a drinking game, and then they're going to end up going and playing baseball. Like, you can definitely tell that they're coming for each other. Meanwhile, your girl Simone is going to run into Melody, the young lady that she met at the event, and she's going to ask Melody for the time, and Melody is going to be so nervous, and she's just like, I don't know, can I do that? I don't want to get into any trouble. And Simone is just like, shoot, I'm not going to tell anybody. And so your girl Melody tells her, and then they kind of just go on their separate ways. Now, meanwhile, Damon and JR, like I said, are definitely goading each other. Now, once they get out onto the baseball field and Damon does his thing and he almost hits JR, and you can tell that he's doing this on purpose, JR is going to run over there and they're going to, have a little tat. And in this moment, your boy Jerry is like, look, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, Brixton is just not the place for me. Now, we have to keep in mind that Jerry has no clue that JR and Damon are brothers. Otherwise, it might make a little more sense to him as to why they're having this interaction that they're having. So anyway, y'all, back to our girl Simone. Now, she does show up to the meeting, but turns out the meeting wasn't there at all, and Melody gave her the incorrect information. Meanwhile, Thea and Rome are going to talk again, and Rome is still trying to get your girl Thea to see things his way. Like, he just is so invested in her doing this next set of shots. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, why do you keep trying to push her the way that you're trying to push her? Now, of course, she's going to walk away again, but, something tells me that Rome is probably not going to give up. So meanwhile, Coach Marcus finds out about JR and Damon's little shenanigans when he gets a text message from Jerry that says, hey, look, I don't think Brixton is the right fit for me. And he's like, look, I don't care what y'all got going on. I just need y'all to fix this. So, of course, JR and Damon have a quick conversation. And in this conversation, we learn that JR just wants something of his own. Like, he's like, we share parents, we share college friends, we share the same college. Like, this was something that was just for me. And we get the vibe at this point that they are definitely going through this big brother, little brother syndrome, where the big brother just wants some space. He just wants to have his own thing without his little brother, being a part of it. But what makes this even more interesting and what makes this even bigger for him is that his little brother happens to be a star player, a Major League Baseball prospect, someone who is already so much bigger, and he tells him, like, whatever room you're in, you just suck up the oxygen, and there's no air, there's no room for him to breathe. So that's why he just wants this particular thing for himself. But you can tell that this hurts your boy Damon's feelings, and he kind of just walks away and says, hey, we got to go find this guy. And so it is what it is. So anyway, y'all, your boy Jesse is boring the heck out of these recruits. I mean, whatever he is talking about, they are darn near about to fall asleep. And then he turns it over to Coach Marcus. Now, when Coach Marcus starts to speak, instead of him doing what he was, supposed to do, what the plan was, he decides to go ahead and address the elephant in the room, which is why he is no longer the head coach. He talks about his mental illness, and it looks like everybody is responding really well. Like, this is the type of things that they wanted to hear. And it turns out Coach Marcus had a really great idea, because what he was providing and what he was talking about was well received by the players. Okay, y'all. So meanwhile, Amara is getting dressed and getting ready to go to, Nate's event, and she's going to ask Zeke to come with her. Now, Zeke is going to tell her, look, I don't want to confuse anybody, on the campus, especially with Keisha not being here. And she's just like, look, you're coming as my boyfriend. And then he's just like, I don't know if Keisha is ready for this yet. And in this moment, you just know that Zeke is full of crap. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I like Zeke. I think Zeke is a cool dude or whatever. But you can tell that he may not be ready to move forward in a relationship, and that he may like the idea of having this hidden secret. But you can tell that your girl Amara is not feeling what he was talking about at all. Meanwhile, your girl Nate is going to pull off this whole Black History thing. And I ain't even gonna lie, this green outfit that she was wearing was definitely giving. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all, JR is going to talk to Simone, and he's going to tell her, like, look, don't let this whole tennis drama get in the way of what you want, and don't let it be the thing that takes you out of your character. He's like, you sought out the PKZs for a reason. So, just follow through with why you sought them out. And so, he's going to be giving her some good friendly advice from a friend. So anyway, y'all, your girl Amara is going to tell Nico that this event was great, and she's going to tell him, like, look, you and Nate are a great team. And then Nico just is going to kind of agree with it. But at the same time, you can sense something going on with Nico. And we already know what it is. Nico can't handle, being outside of the spotlight. It feels like everything needs to be about him at all times. Meanwhile, your boy Jerry and Damon are going to be talking to each other. And Damon's going to let him know, that he's sorry about what happened, and then he mentions that JR is his brother. And when he mentions this, I believe this is when your boy Jerry starts to realize exactly what's happening. And he tells Damon, like, look, what you guys are going through is completely normal. This is what big brothers and little brothers do. It's not uncommon for an older brother to want to have their space, and Damon hasn't really looked at it like this, because you have to think about it. They just found out they were brothers in their older years. This is typically something that they would have went through a long time ago had they have been raised together. But because they weren't raised together, they're just now going through these typical brotherly situations. So anyway, you can tell that Damon accepts it, and he is starting to understand as well. So anyway, y'all, Simone is going to talk to Quila, and she's just going to basically tell her what she needs to tell her. Like, look, girl, like, this is not the type of sisterhood that I'm used to. When I think of sisterhood, I think of something totally different. Sisterhood, you should be able to get grace as well, because the way that Quila came at her, because she missed, the first part of the meeting, it felt like she should have given her a little grace, but she didn't. Now, Quila does explain that she's trying to weed out, certain people who are interested for the wrong reasons. So while I do get that, once again, I do think that at the end of the day, there should be some sort of grace. And Quila ends up agreeing as well. And she lets her know that, she was basically impressed by the way that she read her in a very nice way. Hey, y'all. So your girl Nate is going to give an amazing performance. She's going to recite her poetry. And once she's done, she wants the person who it's inspired by to come up on the stage, which was Nico. Now, your boy Nico decided he was going to leave. He couldn't handle it. And so he just left, and it's in that moment that you realize that you're happy that your girl Keisha didn't keep pushing, that she didn't jeopardize her friendship with Nate, and that she allowed Nate to see who Nico was for herself instead of her continuing to push. So I'm really glad for the way that she decided to play things at some point. So anyway, y'all, Nate is going to have a conversation with Nico, and she's just going to be like, look, I can't do this anymore. I've supported you. I stand by your side. I dim my light, but you couldn't let me shine just for one moment, and Nico is like, you're breaking up with me over an event. And she's just like, no, that is not why I'm breaking up with you. I'm breaking up with you because I shine too bright, like, I'm not going to continue to dim myself for you. And I'm just like, you know what? You right. You are absolutely right. Now, Amara is kind of coming up, and she hears a little bit of this. And of course, she's going to console, Nate, because, she just broke up with her boyfriend. And clearly she really cares about Nico, but Nico didn't even care enough about her to even try to fight for her even a little bit, And at the end of the day, it just makes you feel like, maybe Nate is absolutely right. Nico just can't be with someone that shines as bright as she does, and I think that hearing what Nate had to say really also inspired Amara and got her to really thinking about her own situation. Okay, y'all, so meanwhile, your boy Damon and JR, they make amends, and they realize that they haven't been through this whole sibling thing like most, siblings have, and they realize they're just gonna have to figure it out. Now, they are gonna try to figure out a way that they can make Jerry see that Brinkston University is truly about family. So they decide to introduce Jerry to their Brinkston family. Anyway, y'all, we're going to see your girl Thea and Simone truly trying to be there for their friend Nate. Now, they're putting aside their petty differences in order to make sure that they console and comfort her as she's going through, this particular time in her life. Now, y'all, Damon and JR are going to show up with their boy Jerry, and they're going to introduce these guys. And of course, they're going to treat him, just like he's part of the group. So anyway, y'all, your girl Simone is going to get an invite from PKZ, but she is going to be willing to miss this event because she is going to be there for her friends no matter what. And this just shows so much character about Simone. Now, Nate is going to notice this, and she's going to be like, no, ma'am, this is not what we're doing. And she's going to help Simone get ready, and she's going to send her on her way so she can go do her thing. Now, meanwhile, Damon and Jerry are going to end up talking, and he's going to be like, hey, you're super cool for how you handled this whole Lando situation. And then he lets him know what the players at Hawkins were saying about him and how they were talking trash about him. And not only that, he also tells them about how Lando secretly recorded him and then leaked it to the media. So y'all, I don't even know, your boy Lando, from the very beginning, I've always said that Lando was a little off for me, but I gave Lando grace because I was like, okay, maybe I was wrong about Lando. Maybe he trying to be different. Maybe this isn't his character. And I'm not going to be quick to judge right off the bat, because we got to give Lando a chance to give his side of the story. So meanwhile, your girl Thea is going to be overdoing it again. She's continuing to work out and continuing to try to push herself, and her coach is just going to be like, look, maybe we should think about redshirting you. Maybe we should think about you sitting out and trying to let your body heal. Now, we all know that is probably what's best for Thea. However, that is not how Thea sees this. She sees that, they're taking something away from her, and she is not willing to give up, and she is not willing to quit, and she is going to make it back to tennis one way or another. And of course, this is going to send her running straight to Rome, and she's going to ask him for that third shot. Now, we all know that this is probably not going to end well for your girl Thea, but we just hope that she comes to her senses before it's too late. Meanwhile, your boy Jesse is going to talk to Coach Marcus, and he's just going to be like, look, you did the right thing, what you were supposed to do. That was what those players needed to hear. And he tells him, like, you make a difference. This is why my sons love you so much. And it's truly in this moment that we realize that Coach Marcus, is more than just a coach. He really is someone that these players look up to. He's really someone that they trust. Even when Jerry came, he went straight to Coach Marcus, and he was concerned about him not being the head coach because he made such an impression on him. And that's something that Jesse doesn't have. And I don't think that's something that, you can learn. I think it's just something that happens, and Coach Marcus has that thing. Okay, y'all. So meanwhile, your girl Amara is going to talk to Zeke, and he's going to say, look, I don't know what my problem was. Like, Keisha's probably going to be excited about this. And Amara just tells him, like, look, that's not what the issue is. It's you still haven't gotten over your wife. You're still grieving. You're still in mourning. And at the end of the day, that's really all this was about. Like, Zeke is trying to move on, but he still is just not ready yet. Now, I think these two could really be good for each other. Zeke truly does have to work through, mourning and grieving his wife, and while not forgetting her, knowing that it's okay for him to move forward and find love again. Anyway, y'all, last but not least, your boy Damon is going to be blowing your girl Simone up because of this whole Lando situation. Now, he's going to tell her, like, look, Lando is not a good dude. And she's just going to tell him, like, look, pretty much this is a rumor right now. Like, if you didn't hear that from him, like, you're just basing this off of a rumor. Now, to be honest and to be completely fair, I don't think Simone actually has any intention of having a actual relationship with Lando. I don't see them as getting together and falling in love and all of that type of stuff. I think he's just something for the moment for her. I think he is what he is. And I think that she has her walls up because she is truly focused in and zoned in on what she's trying to do, which is school and tennis. So I really don't even think Damon really have anything to worry about. So, it is what it is. We all know that Damon is jealous of Lando and Simone because in theory, I feel like, he wanted to be with Simone. Now, I do feel like they would have actually been a great couple, but now that he and Thea are together, the last thing I want to see is Thea get her heart broken by Damon. So, that's a no-go as well. But, we shall see. So anyway, y'all, I think the real question is going to be, is Lando going to admit to this? Is Lando going to try to make amends for it? Because we know he probably 9 times out of 10 did this because at the time he was jealous of Damon. He didn't want Damon coming in on his territory. I mean, he's coming over there and he's going to end up getting his starting pitching job. So of course you can understand why he would do what he did and why he would feel the way he did. But if he is truly a man of character and the person that, he is portraying that we're seeing at Brixton, then he will try to make amends for it. If he doesn't, then, maybe Lando ain't what we think he is. So anyway, that's just my take on it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. That is what's up with All-American Season 2, Episode 6, Free Your Mind. Go ahead and get the conversation started down below. Until next time, guys.